Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to Retro Spectrum Gaming. I'm Ewan Spence with another review of the Spectrum. Sometimes we review the modern games from 2019 and 2020. Some of them are going to be coming up in the next couple of days and weeks. Sometimes we'll go right back in the history of the Spectrum. And today, 1983, less than a year after the machine had launched. So, you're talking, this is for the 16K Spectrum, so you got 5K for the screen, you got 1K for the variables, you had a little bit of headroom. You're probably only talking about an 8 or 9K code for this actual game, but it could run on the cheaper machine, and it is addictive. It's very simple, it's very frustrating, and it's one of those games where it really needs a good proper update. And if I looked around, there's probably mobile versions of this that are going to be great in the vertical screens of your Android and iPhones and everything. And it is one of those early Spectrum games that I still have a very strong memory of. It's from Imagine, so you already know that they're going to turn out to do some great stuff. And it is, of course, Jumping Jack. Mortal Spectrum tells me it's also originally called Leggett in some places. It doesn't really have a screen string. The controls are cap shift, symbol shift, and Z to jump, so it's just completely all over the shop. I've reconfigured the trusty Kempston DualShock into some keyboard mapping on this one, so hopefully that's going to work quite smoothly when we get into the game. But we are going to start off with the regular Spectrum screen, so we can just bring that one in. Yep, there we go. So you can see the rather indulgent use of space in the memory. Because remember, this is only a 16K machine, so there's a lot going on here. Now, that's how it normally starts up, because that's where the keyboard one is set up. But if I just head into the actual original tape file, let's just have a look at it. Leave the tape running. Oh, what have we got going on here? It's Jumping Jack! And then we quickly move on to the screen play. Now, as you can see here, we've got the DualShock, so we've got left and right running on this one. And we also have jump as well. We've got a ridiculous number of non-standard lives, which appears to be 7. And all we have to do is get to the top of the screen. If you hit the bottom of the screen, you will lose a life. And you'll see we just have this conveyor belt of gaps. Some are going up the screen, some are going down the screen. And to help you get away, you can go left, right. Because if you jump now, you're going to hit that ceiling. You need to wait for a gap to come through. And then you can start working your way up the screen. Now, if you think you're going to get caught, you can do something like that. Oh dear. Okay, let's run away from that there. I'm going to fall over here. And you're going to... There we go. So, straight away, you can see what's going on. It is a jumpy platform game. We've got to try and avoid... Oh, that's going to take me all the way down the bottom of the life. Welcome to just one more game, slight addiction of fun and games on the Spectrum. Okay, now hopefully I can chase you all the way up. No, don't double hit! I could have made it there. Okay, right, so that one's moving up though. So here's the one moving. There we go, so we can jump up. Jump up, there we go, jump up. Jump up. Wanna go? You're not gonna let me, I hate you. I hate you. Okay, right, two to go. Ah, there's a gap. Is that one going to come down? Yeah, we want to go long. Ah! Tiny. Think. Oh, come on. Get up. Oh. Ah, now I remember. This is such a simple game. Yet don't be overeager. Focus on this one. You're talking... Not quite pixel perfect accuracy. I think you're talking about like 4 pixel accuracy, so about half a character string. Okay, right, can we get a gap at the top? Yes, we can! Level 1. Jumping Jack is quick and bold. Whoa! The skill of the story will unfold. So basically, what I'll hear is you will get the story of Jumping Jack getting told as you go through the game. Every time you pass another level, you get a little bit more lines of the storyline, so you got something dragging you forward. It's a very strange way of grafting a story onto what is a pretty solid arcade game. But there you go. Okay, so let's just run away from the gap. You want to stay in the middle because I'm pretty sure Mr. Farmer with his shotgun is going to be moving up to me now. Oh, and there we go again. Come on, go. Oh, really? Come on. Ah, that's not fair. Okay, right, okay. Gather your breath. I mean, what is a review? It's got pretty solid controls, although it's a weird keyboard layout. Thankfully, with emulators nowadays, it's relatively easy to keyboard map your... oh, that's going to kill me. And that's going to... oh, no, I'm just going to... oh, no! It's frustrating. Seriously, and there's goes another life. You can actually get quite a long bit of gameplay. We're still in the same game here because of the 7 lives you get, and I don't want to jump up just yet because you are safe on the bottom row. Once you start your adventure, though, that was it. You really had to sort of wait and pay attention to make sure you can get up at least 2 levels quite quickly, or not brain yourself when you jump up. And no. That's Jumping Jack. Oh, one high, one hazard, 190 is a final score. Look, it's really simple. It's a really simple game, yet it is one that has stuck in my head. It is, as you can tell and hear, it is quite frustrating, but at the same time, it's incredibly smooth. Not a lot's been done with the Spectrum at this point in time. So you see here, we're using the standard character set. We don't have any redefined characters and keys or symbols or anything, because at that point it's like we've got 21 UDGs and we've got to like do 26 and 10 numbers, so we're never going to be able to manage anything like that. So everything is pretty much standard. Your graphics for your extra lives are just UDGs. I suspect if we go into the code that this sort of character map may well be a machine code character map, but might, because you can tell there you can move him with a quite fine control, but it is he pushing? See, here's the thing: 16K, you know that you can get a classic like something like Jetpack or Cookie or in there, but they did take some time for people to really understand what the Spectrum is doing, how the whole system worked. These batches of the sort of early first games, of which Jumping Jack is clearly one of them. There we go, up we go. It's those games that sort of got the platform kick-started. Everybody going, yeah, you can do games on this one. They're exciting, they're engaging, I'm not going to say they're as good as an arcade in terms of graphics, but in terms of wanting to play again and actually having them at home, yeah, I mean, you could easily match this up with the likes of Donkey Kong in your arcades in 82, 83, and then come home and play this, and you'd be perfectly fine with it. I mean, white paper, white border, it does look a little bit unambitious, but it does the job. So, I always joke that everything gets recommended on the channel, and this is a strange one, because if you're looking for a great, big, massive graphical tour de force, you're not going to find it here. But if you're looking for something where that classic, the gameplay means everything, Jumping Jack, the gameplay does mean everything. There's color crash coming up when you get the monsters coming through. There's this strange crafting on through. There's an axe in a sort of pre-Jet Set Willy Manic Miner. I'm gonna get you. Fair enough. But it's all there. It's all working. Let's just make sure. Even after all that bit, I still managed to nut myself. It's all there. This Jumping Jack is definitely worth a look at. It's a very early game. I think it's going to keep you involved and frustrated for a fair amount of time if you go and have a run through that on your Spectrum. You don't need hours and hours and hours of download time on this one. It is 16K. It's wink and you're done. So there you go. Jumping Jack, playing on the Spectrum from Imagine Software. Really just a tightly well-coded, exciting game on the 16K ZX Spectrum. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, and because I'm just back, I've got to remember to go there. If you like this, click the like button. If you love it, subscribe to the channel. YouTube.com/RetroSpectrum. Did I call it Retro Spectrum? I can't even remember my channel name anymore. I'm pretty sure I made them all Retro Spectrum Gaming. How useless is that? I'm back and I'm firing on 2 out of 7 cylinders. Honestly, the next video is going to be a bit better.